Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Here in the studio we have Ale and Stevie, and Ian Darke is joining us as well. And I'm going to tell you what the first question is, but we're going to actually go to Ian Darke with it because there's some context here. Okay. So the first question is for Stevie and Ale. Have you guys ever injured yourself while playing golf? Have a little think about that while Ian Darke tells us his very recent injury playing golf.
Well, I was due to appear on this programme on Tuesday, but had to make a late withdrawal because on the afternoon of the programme, I decided to go out on the golf course. It was a little bit wet and muddy, I'll put it that way. So I thought I'll play 3 or 4 holes here. So I put the golf ball down, hit quite a good drive, went to hit the second shot with a wood. I made good contact with the ball, but a huge piece of mud flew up into my eye. I mean, we're laughing about it now, but it wasn't funny at all at the time. It stung, my eye was closed. I had to ring the programme and make a transatlantic call and give a grovelling apology and say there was no way I could appear because I was in a lot of pain and my right eye had closed. But happily it's mended. But, you know, there's a golf story. I mean, I'm bad enough at the game without injuring myself.
Oh, Ian, well, we're glad to see you doing better. We're glad to have you back here on the show. Guys?
I've got 2, right? One, I got injured. I mean, one of my days off, I decided just to go to the golf course and play a few holes on my own. And I got onto the 16th, one over the water.
Yeah.
And I would go to get my ball to putt it, and the sprinkler came on. And I just, cat-like reflexes, as quick as you like, turned to sprint away. And as I took one step, my calf went. Couldn't walk, I could hardly walk. I had to go into the clubhouse and go home. I was out of action for about 2 or 3 weeks, couldn't play.
Did you make it to the clubhouse dry?
Oh, aye, I didn't get wet. I'd rather have got wet than down my calf. I completely did my calf. The other one I told you...
But it's a long way from the clubhouse, by the way, from the 16th.
Oh, I had a buggy. I had a buggy, yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, I'd still be trying to get back. But the other one, I actually told this on Extra Time a few years ago. Craig and I were golfing at the old place we used to play at. And we're on the green, and as we're putting and getting ready, this bear just sauntered. It wasn't on the green, it was probably about 10, 15 yards on the fairway next to the green, and it comes sauntering along just from nowhere. So him and I start backing up. So we're walking backwards, back up the hill towards the buggies, but we're walking and watching it. And Craig's turned his back to me and the bear. And so the bear goes all the way around the green, so it's now nearly in the woods, because he doesn't know that. So what I did was I started running. So I ran past him shouting, "Run!" And he just started running after me like that. And he's running along, and then I stopped and I went, "Yeah, it's gone." He's like, "What?" So the bear had already gone, and he's running away from it like that. Because I went, "Quick, run!" He started running.
Wish you had that on video.
Oh, I wish we'd video. It was fun. I was killing myself.
Ale?
I'm on the 14th hole in the club that we play.
Aye.
And I was actually playing really well and happened to be playing with Craig.
Oh, stop exaggerating.
I happened to be playing really well.
Yeah.
I was playing well.
I was killing it.
Yeah, you know, for my standard, I was playing well. Look, I'm going to hit my second shot, hit the shot, and then my back just went. Like my lower back, and I could just feel it. And when he goes, he goes. There's no, that's it. And I usually walk, as you know. I don't catch the card. So now what do? And I'm away, well away from the clubhouse. So Craig, who was driving a cart, says, "Well, you can take my card, and I'll walk the rest of the way," because I couldn't move. And I said, "Okay, well that's great," but I knew that came at a price. It came at a price because I could only hear from Craig for the next week or whatever, that, well, you know, I had to carry my bag for 3 holes, and, you know, I almost threw my bag because, you know. The good thing is that I was able to make it, but even getting into, I don't know if people realize this or not, but when you throw your bag playing golf, even if you get in the cart, that hurts. And getting out of the cart once you make it back to the clubhouse, like putting your your bag into your own car, that's difficult. And I'm like, you know, and there's nobody to help. There's no.
I was just going to say, I'm guessing he never helped you either.
No.
Of course he did.
I was like,
Of course he never.
I'm bent over with my bag, and I was just trying. But to be fair to Craig, he did give me his car. It's just that I knew that there was gonna be something that came after.
That was the price.
Yes, and he reminded me of him having to carry my bag up the hill.
So he didn't really have your back at all. Ian,
Kind of did. So.
is this England squad with Foden, Saka, Kane and Jude better than the golden midfield era of Beckham, Lampard, Scholes and Gerrard?
Well, not on paper it isn't, no. That team should have done a lot more than it did, but there were so many cliques we now learn about that golden generation team with what Sven-Göran Eriksson had that they really had no chance of being successful. Not when you look at the talent, it was incredible, really, and they should have picked up some piece of silverware somewhere along the way. But let's see with this team, because Gareth Southgate, okay, he's got his critics. People say he's been too cautious, but he's got England to a final, to a semi-final. The spirit's always good. He's got Kane and Bellingham, two really world-class talents. Maybe Foden will really start to flourish at this tournament. So I think England have got a big chance of winning the Euros. Not saying they're going to do it, because I think 3 or 4 teams have got a big chance. But this team might prove to be rather better than that Beckham, Scholes, Gerrard, Rio Ferdinand one.
Any thoughts on what Ian's just said
I
there?
think Ian's absolutely spot on paper. That team was fantastic. But we keep, we always talk about it's the pieces of the puzzles, do they all fit? You think of Giroud, right? Giroud won a World Cup and never scored a goal, but played most of the games because just his piece of the puzzle fit everybody else. So it's not always just about having the best players. It's all the pieces of the puzzle coming together. And that team that had Lampard, Scholes, Gerrard, Beckham. I mean, I would argue that probably the 4 of them never played in the same team at any one time, which is incredible. Why you can't play? You leave out one of those guys. So yeah, the pieces of the puzzle didn't fit.
Quick story time, and it was following some of the lack of success of that team. I was actually at Anfield watching Liverpool and West Ham, and we happened to be in the visitor section, which was quite an experience on its own, being with the West Ham fans. I'd never quite experienced something like that.
I bet.
Right? But in any case, Gerrard is about to go take a corner kick right next to where this fan section is, and one of the best things I've ever heard in a stadium is this whole West Ham fan base just going, "You let your country down, you let your country down," and it was just like, this is in the middle of Anfield, of course, right? And it didn't quite work for West Ham that day because Fernando Torres was flying that night. But regardless, it was, I think it was reflective of how the rest of English fans felt about how can these guys not make it work? Gerrard, Lampard, so on and so forth. How could it not work? And that's how disappointed the West Ham fans were. And that's the only thing that they had to say that game, because as I said, Liverpool were flying that night.
All England fans remember it well. For Stevie, what do you think about the reports linking Trent to Real Madrid?
I'd have to say I haven't heard that.
Okay, what? Now you're hearing them. Now you're hearing them. How do you feel about them?
Well, I think the fact that Klopp's leaving, it's going to be interesting because, as we've always said, Trent Alexander-Arnold as a fullback is a poor defender. There's no getting away from that. I don't care who you support, what team you watch. Trent Alexander is not a good defender, but he's so good going forward that it wouldn't be a surprise if Real Madrid were to offer, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 million for Trent Alexander when you've got a young kid in Conor Bradley who is a miles better defender but is great going forward, isn't in the same class as Trent. So it depends on the next manager whether it's a possibility that that particular thing could happen.
Well, we actually did have to watch again tonight Liverpool's highlights against Manchester United in the FA Cup, and you'll remember that we showed you some of the footage of Stevie having to watch that in real time last week. It's still hurting. We've decided to put together Stevie's reaction to just a little package we put together of that game
Okay.
tonight, and this is how
Okay.
it all went down here in the
Just for
studio.
you.
Just for you, Stevie. No, just so our viewers can see.
Who was this?
It's just today, Stevie.
Yes.
You know, you're wearing the same clothes.
Yep. Today we decided to film what we'd seen from you watching it. This is it.
Oh, no, I remember now. That's what I said. Of course, because I said, "Oh, I'm just taking the daggers out my heart." It doesn't get any easier to watch, honestly. It's like watching Xhaka. I keep thinking he's going to save that shot for Gerrard, and then I watch the goals again. I think it's not going to happen this time. It's not going to happen this time. Yeah, it did.
We're just going to keep playing it until you can actually watch it with a straight face.
No, that's an impossibility. We'll be here till.
And now, as you were watching yourself in video, Stevie, you actually asked the question, when was this? we are here with the same clothes, so it must be today. I'm just saying.
Well, I didn't understand what you were talking about, and then when I was looking at that monitor over there, I didn't realise that was from earlier. So that's why I was like.
The lips moving.
Well, actually, as I was doing that, and I did lift my right hand, and it never moved on the screen. I thought,
This is not where I expected this to go, but here we are.
oh, see, like, look, see, I can see that now. But when I was watching it earlier, nothing was moving.
Oh my
I was like,
goodness.
When was this?
I can't figure it out.
When was this? Probably earlier
Oh
today,
dear.
Stevie.
For Stevie, because he's such a good student, start, bench or drop these school subjects: mathematics,
oh,
geography, and history.
Wait, here we go.
Oh, well, I tell you what. Mathematics, see you later.
Okay.
Had it been arithmetic, it would have been top of the tree, because I'm good at arithmetic. Geography, yeah, forget that. I've tried that before with Dan with the Pacific Ocean and all that. Remember that one? So history, I actually enjoy history. I very much enjoy looking at the World War II stuff on the History Channel and such like. So yeah, history is top of the class. The other two, yeah, you can get rid of them both.
Get rid of them both.
Aye.
All right. Ian, who do you have winning if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury boxing match ends up being scheduled in the near future?
Well, don't hold your breath waiting for that to happen, because we've been waiting for about a decade for those two to get in the ring. I think they eventually will. I think you don't know now, because Tyson Fury is getting quite old, but I think he's got a bigger skill set than Joshua, and he'd be my tip to win.
Okay. Ale, you agreeing with that?
I'm with Ian.
Okay. Ale, I know you despise the Copa America being hosted here, but are you planning to attend any of the Venezuela games, or on principle are you choosing not to attend?
Principle.
I wouldn't decide on principle alone to not support my country. And so if indeed an opportunity arises for me to go and support my national team, I will certainly do that, regardless of the fact that I don't like the idea of Copa America being held out of South America. It just, again, I go back to an argument that I've made time and time again. Imagine if the Euros were not held in Europe. Well, this is what's happening here. Copa America is being held out of South America. It doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense to me. I know exactly why it's happening. It's money. It's a money venture, and everybody's going to enjoy it, and they're going to be packed stadiums, and it's going to be great and amazing and fantastic, and people here in the United States are going to enjoy it, and those that are supporting their national teams are going to love to come here to the United States and spend their time here and their summer here. Great. That doesn't do away with any of the frustrations that this generates for me, that this tournament belongs in South America. But regardless, about supporting my national team, I'll support my national team here, there, and everywhere, because my heart belongs to Venezuela.
Yeah, a little message to the boss there that if you do want to send him to these games, he'll be happy to go along.
Well, the other thing is that Copa America is going on at the same time that the Euros are going on, so I may be here.
Busy. It's a busy month.
The true professional that I am.
I forgot that.
Yeah?
Well, we didn't. We will be here throughout both tournaments, obviously, and we'll be giving full attention to both tournaments as
Well,
well.
I certainly hope so.
All right. Kay, as the resident expert on chic footballers, rank these goons based on hairstyle. Stephen, Craigery, and Donald. Craigery, because that's how the Americans say Craig, right? All right.
Is this it, right? This is this. Okay. Oh,
To be fair, look at the state of Burley.
well,
What a mess.
just in general.
Now that's ahead of here.
Stevie, just a reminder, this isn't today.
Yeah, this
Oh, was it not?
Okay.
Yeah, you got to drop Hotch, haven't you?
Well, let Kay do
What's
it.
that?
Okay. It's actually the order that we can see on the screen.
Okay.
Stevie, that is a good boy haircut that you've got there going on.
Aye.
Fine head of hair. You are number one. I will start you.
Uh-huh.
I know that's not what I got asked. Start, bench or drop.
Okay.
I'll bench Craig. It's not great, but it's still better than this non-effort from Don Hutchison.
What is it?
He's not even trying.
No.
Okay, well, hold on a second, bud.
Right.
Hey, sometimes less is more. What is Craig trying to do?
Yeah, but at least he's trying.
Well, I
Doesn't matter what he
That
makes it
takes some
messy.
effort to get that colour
Craig is a
and maintain
Mine's
it.
is au natural, the old ginger.
When did you make the decision to go from what that is to what you now have going on that has been very consistent for the last 25 years that I've known you, Stevie?
Bar that mistake a couple of years ago.
Aye. I actually remember the day I got it cut because a girl came to the house. So a girl used to come to the house in Liverpool and cut Eleanor's hair. And then I just decided, well, actually it was Eleanor's. Eleanor said, why don't you change it? I think the short and spike was the style at the time. So I decided to cut the mop off and get short and spike. And it's stayed ever since.
Why didn't you get the perm back in the Liverpool days when everyone else was?
Oh, because it looks so stupid. I mean, some people actually it suited, like Graham Souness, for example, suited it. Kevin Keegan suited it. But then you got Phil Thompson. I mean, you see Tomo. I mean, his was so bad you never noticed his nose. I mean, Tomo, for those that don't know Tomo, we used to have a joke, right? The joke was, how do you make Phil Thompson's nose 12 inches long? And the answer is, fold it in half. So every day we come into training, Tomo would be getting changed. And eventually got cut all the way back. So all you needed to say was, how do you make Tomo's nose 12 inches long? And then that was it. Everybody knew. And everybody started laughing. Every day, somebody threw it at him.
Now, quick question though. Seriously, you look at Craig in that picture and you say, yeah, that's a look. Huh?
yeah.
I mean, it's got something about it, isn't it?
What? I like that you're doing the work for me now. You can take it.
I mean, it's got something about it. Look at it. It's got a bit of shape. It just happens to be a dodgy colour. And you look at
It just happens to be on Craig Burley.
And it is Craig. And if he were smiling, there would be no teeth. So.
Aye.
Well,
Yeah, don't-
wait, my bad. I said, if he were smiling. That's my bad. Why would
Yes,
I even
you
bring
should
that
have- you
up?
should have known that.
Yeah, I know.
Ian, did you like Craig's hair like that?
I don't remember him ever being bleach blonde, and I can't imagine him ever doing that, but he obviously did. I mean, Don Hutchison there looks like some kind of moody rock star, doesn't he? Like a rebel with a cause.
He did it in the World Cup.
Yeah, the
Darky.
World Cup. He's talked about it here before.
Aye, so I think they were playing Brazil in the World Cup, and the majority of them decided to do it. So, commentator's nightmare.
Oh,
Well,
God,
Stevie,
yeah.
you win.
Thank you.
All bleach
Common sense has
blonde.
prevailed. Yeah, none of them did it. Aye.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we shouldn't come to Ian and me for hair advice. I'm just
Probably
really
not.
suggesting. Yeah, I'm just saying. But
Ian's
Why
got
is
the
that?
bleach blonde look himself.
what?
Yeah.
That's Ian's bleach blonde look.
He didn't have to pay for it either.
Yeah.
The picture that we showed of Ian in the show, he looked like he was in a sailing competition.
No,
of
he
some
owned
sort.
he owned the yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that picture.